So Diego Simeone finally figured it out. He has finally figured out a way to make Atletico Madrid the dominant force they've always been destined to be. With how the team is dominating La Liga this season, you just have to admit this is a different Atletico. All parts of their game have gotten buffed. As a team, they've gotten a lot better, and even when you look at individual performances, these guys are just outstanding. They're simply the most dominant team in Spain right now, and Barcelona and Real Madrid are having a hard time matching these guys' intensity and consistency. And there is a genius behind this new development. His name? Diego Simeone. It may have taken him a while, but he finally found a secret tactic. One so good that no team in the league has been able to fully understand and counter. This new tactic is so sleek, people barely recognize and talk about it. But that changes today. At the end of this video, you'll know the tactic Simeone is using to get ahead of everyone in Spain. As I said earlier, this is a different Atletico. The way they're playing now and the results they're getting are very different from last season's. Like you saw what they did to Barcelona this season, this is a different team. So what changed? Well, the most obvious is the new players that joined the team. Now listen carefully, I know we see transfers all the time. I mean, this is football. We see hundreds of transfers at the start of every season. Even mid-season, we still see a couple. So yeah, new signings aren't really much of a big deal. But looking at the moves Atletico made at the start of the season, we see that they were a lot more intentional about their signings. They didn't just go after the next big star or the next free agent, they literally shopped for what they needed. Playing for Atletico isn't for everyone. You have to be built a certain way and have a special type of mindset to play for this team. Take João Felix, for example. This guy is without a doubt an exceptional player. At some point, he was the best young star in the world. Heck, Atletico bought him for £120 million, and you might say, that was too much money, but I say, the Portuguese was a really fantastic player. But things didn't just work out in Atletico. He wasn't just their guy, he just didn't have that physical and mental drive that the team required. But not taking anything away from him, he's really good. I mean, see how important he is to the Portuguese national team. So, you get the point, skill wasn't enough to succeed in Atletico, and Diego Simeone knows this, so at the start of the season, he was really intentional about the players he brought on. From the 27th of July 2024 to the 27th of August 2024, the team brought in 6 players. Juan Musso and Clement Lenglet from Atalanta and Barcelona respectively. Both coming in on loan deals though, but let's talk about the other 4 guys. Robin Lee Normand from Real Sociedad, Alexander Solath from Villarreal, Julian Alvarez from Manchester City, and Conor Gallagher from Chelsea. These guys are the perfect players for the team. Amongst them are defensive midfielders and forwards. You know, giving the team not just the squad depth that they desperately needed, but performance buff in those positions. With new players on board, Simeone went on to the next phase of his agenda. Now it was time to build the team into an unstoppable army, and to do this, he had to let go of his previous tactics that truthfully got him nowhere. All this while, Atletico had been that team that was supposed to be champions, but they've already been bottom feeders to Real Madrid and Barcelona. Something just wasn't right. But as I said earlier, Simeone finally figured it out. He's making the players play differently, and it is not just really beautiful to watch, but also really effective. And you know what makes this whole thing really interesting? It's that Simeone is using a formation that we have been seeing Atletico use for many years. The 4-4-2 formation is not new to Atletico, it's probably Simeone's favorite formation of all time. So we are still seeing a 4-4-2, but Simeone has done something else to it, and is now showing the football world a new and more effective way of using the 4-4-2 formation. So get this, sometimes when the team plays, the wingers don't stay on the wing. At times, neither Griezmann nor the other main striker, Julian Alvarez, stays up front as target man. Then there are times when the middle of the pitch is empty, like there are no midfielders on the pitch. Everyone just sort of plays out of their traditional position, and it makes the team look confused. But don't let that deceive you, they know exactly what they're doing. Anytime this team wants to build a play from the back, they do something unique. The back four drops really low, and playing as close to the goalie as possible. And when either the fullbacks or center backs receive the ball, they instantly play it to the flank. Now, this is pretty unusual. Most times, you see teams trying to find the midfielders during a build-up. They let the midfielders distribute the play from the middle of the pitch, but Diego Simeone is making Atletico do the opposite, and of course, there's an interesting reason for this. You see, when the defenders drop really deep, close to the goalkeeper, that forces the opposition to also drop deep with them. And you know what that causes? Pockets of space behind the opposition in the middle of the pitch. Of course, playing the ball to the flank is dangerous. I mean, compared to distributing from the midfield, playing from the flank limits your options. Many times, a team playing from the flank would have to resort to long balls to switch the play after getting trapped, but Simeone has found a way around this, and we'll get to that in a second too. But right now, I need you to smash that subscribe button to Total Footy if you love Simeone. And well, me too. Subscribe to the channel if you love me. And yeah, back to the video. This is Simeone's genius plan to avoid getting trapped. During this build-up, the midfielders would also move toward the flanks to draw the opposition to the side of the pitch, leaving the center completely free, and in less than 2 seconds, rush back to the middle of the pitch, ready to receive a pass from the fullback and continue the attack, but this time with very minimal pressure. Most times, it is Barrio staying behind to receive a pass from the fullbacks, but Rodrigo de Paul advancing higher into the pitch to not only add more numbers to the attack, but also create a passing option for Darius higher in the pitch so that the team can start a dangerous attack as soon as possible. The thing is, Atletico isn't like Barcelona or Real Madrid that plays for absolute dominance and complete possession. Atletico has never been a team like this, and Simeone has no interest in changing that. As a matter of fact, for years, this team has been known for its defense. Possession has never been a top priority for them, and now that they are upgrading their attack, they are still doing it without caring too much about possession. They just want to get the ball in the opponent's box as soon as possible. Anytime De Paul pushes up into the pitch, he doesn't just run to the center, but he moves towards a side of the pitch. And when he does this, other Atletico players does something interesting. They flexibly interchange position and move towards the side De Paul moves to, kinda like they're overloading one side of the pitch. Now there's a reason for this. Remember how I said playing from the flank is dangerous and can get you trapped? Well, that is it. Simeone knows this and isn't scared of losing the ball. As a matter of fact, Atletico loses the ball quite often in these scenarios. But they have a brilliant plan to get it back. By subtly overloading one side of the pitch, they put themselves in a better position to win second balls. So yeah, when they try that long ball to get them out of a tricky situation in the flank, they have enough players ready to win the second ball if the long pass gets to the opponent. And the best part, after winning second balls, they are in a better position to attack because more often than not, these aerial duels and second balls are won in more advanced positions on the pitch. But enough with their build-up or defensive plays, let's talk about where the real damage is done, the attack. Remember, it's a 4-4-2. The up front are Julian Alvarez and Alvaro Morata. These guys play like their brains are synced together. Their link-ups during games are a beauty to watch. They're probably the most flexible attackers in world football right now, and you just can't predict these guys' movements or know where they'll be at any point in time. Many times, you'll see these guys dropping deep into the midfield to join the build-up. And remember how Simeone makes the team overload a side of the pitch during a build-up play? Well, even Alvarez and Morata joins in this also. So many times you'll see them in the middle and other midfielders and wingers ahead of them. Crazy, right? But it gets even crazier. These guys are not rigid in any way. They're constantly looking for space to occupy, no matter which part of the pitch the space is. Griezmann even takes this steps further. Many times, you'll see him standing in an offside position far from his team. Obviously, that looks like a dumb move because it's Griezmann disconnecting himself from the team. But it is nothing like it looks like. Griezmann only does to that scout for free spaces deep on the pitch that he can exploit. And when he finds the space, he dashes down to receive a pass. That way, leaving space behind him for other attacks and midfielders to run into. Anytime he drops to receive a pass, it catches the opponent off guard and now they have to reset their structure, but now there's suddenly one more player to worry about. And this adjustment gives Atletico a chance to push up aggressively. The Griezmann tactic of hiding behind the opponent also makes Griezmann less of a threat and the opposition doesn't keep an eye out for him. But as Atletico calmly advances from the back, the opposition defense drops. And before they know it, Griezmann is onside and without a marker. Just take a look at this goal against Seville, and Simeone has another trick off his sleeves. To increase the team's chances of scoring, he makes either Barrios or DePaul stay behind to have something like a back three, while the fullbacks push well out wide. With this, the team can use cutbacks as much as they want in the opponent's third, and now that Atletico has many players in dangerous positions, remember the fullbacks are now in the opponent's half. Other players just have to run into the opponent's defensive line to convert any cross or pass that comes in. You have to admit, Simeone is a genius. He's able to have many players in the opponent's defense line and still maintain a solid back three. But before I end this video, we have to talk about one very important part of the team, Alexander Sorloth. Anytime this guy is on the pitch, the game plan changes. He is a 6'5" striker and a really strong one. I'm sure you already know where I'm going with this. With him on the pitch, Atletico have a target man. They play for cutbacks and crosses into the box for him to finish, and he's currently the team's highest goal scorer, so yeah, he's doing his job pretty well. Right now, Atletico Madrid tops the La Liga table and looks like they will go all the way. But will they? Real Madrid is just 1 point below them. So right now, the league is looking like a battle between both Madrids. Who do you think will end the season as league winners? Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid? Let me know what you think in the comments, and as you're down there, please hit that like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next video.